On behalf of the European Research Group, I'd like to make literally a brief statement. We have had a meeting this morning to discuss the issue of the Conservative leadership. We believe that we have one, and potentially two, extremely strong options to be leader of the Conservative Party, but as a group, we were unable to collectively endorse either candidate. However, some of us having spoken to both candidates, potential candidates this morning, they were equally adamant that they would take, if they became Prime Minister, a very robust line on the Northern Ireland Protocol, up to and including, if necessary, utilising the Parliament Act to ensure that the Northern Ireland Protocol Bill reaches the statute book. In addition, we should say that both of them were very clear that if either of them were to become Prime Minister, they are absolutely determined to do everything they can to unite the Conservative Party, and that the government that they would lead in its formation and composition would clearly reflect that aim. The ERG have resolved that whoever becomes the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, be that tonight or on Friday, we will unite behind them and assist them in seeking to unite the Conservative Party. That is the statement. We are willing to take a few very brief questions, but then on a fast-moving day, forgive us if there are a few other things that we have to do. Camilla was first.
Mark, has the ERG taken a position on whether this vote should go to the membership or not? Because there seemed to be a bit of a disagreement outside between members as to whether you think the membership and the grassroots should have a say on this.
Well, the best way I can answer that is that we did not endorse either candidate. We all know what the situation is. If by 2 p.m. Penny Mordaunt has not achieved 100 validated nominations, then Rishi Sunak will effectively become the Prime Minister.
But
so
as a matter of principle, where does the ERG stand on grassroots having a say?
Camilla, we all understand what the issue is, and what I've said is that we have not endorsed either candidate. Now, we had a very good debate. I also had a number of text messages from individuals who couldn't be here because it's a Monday morning. We normally have our plenary on a Tuesday evening when the House is sitting, but it was the 1922 committee that dictated a very compressed timetable. So we had a very lively debate, but at the end of that, we could not come to a complete agreement on whether to endorse one or the other of the potential candidates. So I think it's better to be honest about that. Gary.
I'm quite sure that you trust the guarantees that Rishi Sunak's giving on the protocol, given that he was in a different place when he was in cabinet, negotiating to water it down.
At the end of the day, Rishi Sunak is more than capable of speaking for himself. So indeed, I think, is Penny Mordaunt. What I can tell you is that when a delegation of us went to see both of them this morning, they were both very, very clear, I would say adamant, in fact, that if either of them were to become Prime Minister, they would take a robust position on the Northern Ireland Protocol up to and including invoking the Parliament Act if that became necessary. I'm looking at my officers. I think that's a fair representation of what they both said. Any more than that, Gary, you've got to talk to them. A couple more, please.
Did you set that as a red line?
We didn't use the phrase red line. We just asked both people what they believed in.
Mark, some say neither Rishi Sunak nor Penny Mordaunt have a mandate for leading right now. A lot of your colleagues have said that. Do you think that there'll be more pressure under either of them for a general election? And just quickly, last time you were here talking about this trust, the other thing you cared about was 3% on defence. Did Rishi Sunak say he'd deliver that?
We asked both candidates when we saw them about defence. The answer to your question is, and we benchmark that against 3%. And the answer is that Rishi Sunak did not commit to 3%, but said he was determined, if he were Prime Minister, that he would spend whatever was necessary to keep the country safe. Penny Mordaunt went slightly further. She said that her aim was to get to 3% on defence, but when economic conditions would allow. So, on a general election, I'm speaking personally here. We had a general election in 2015. We had one in 2017. We had one in 2019. Even despite the events of the last few weeks, I'm not convinced that the British public want 4 general elections in 6 years. Now, one last one, please, then I think we're done. Or are we good?
Is this party government? Falling aside, you as a group of moderate Prime Ministers, you're quite sure you're going to give that up?
Perhaps one of my other colleagues would like to. I don't want to hog it all.
Probably answering something slightly different. What was a very complex 3D chess game last week, where we didn't know where this was going to fall, it's now become very binary. Are we going to involve the members in this process or not? And that is an issue where the ERG was similarly split. Should members be involved or not? I tend to fall on the basis that members should, if that gives you any indication as to where some were thinking, where others weren't. That isn't as cryptic as it sounds. It's very, very binary. But this party is absolutely governable. The ERG has always supported Prime Ministers, perhaps bar one, because that was a major, major constitutional issue, and we did come apart on that one. But everyone before and everyone after, we have been very, very reliable, and I see us as, at times, the Praetorian Guard of whatever Prime Minister. We are loyal.
And we all agreed to support whoever is going to be the Prime Minister.
Yes, we should, as Catherine is right to remind me, we did reiterate that at the end of this process, whoever becomes the Prime Minister, we will attempt to give that person our full support. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you.